in northern Germany, cycling has always been a quite usual mode of transport, so it never really died totally. The people kept the culture of cycling.
People in Hamburg are cycling because it's a pretty compact city.
I think the reason why people are cycling in Hamburg is the same than in Copenhagen, because cycling is so convenient, it's easy and it's the fastest mode of transport.
I'm working for the ADFC, that's the Allgemeine Deutsche Fahrradclub, the Cycling Federation of Germany. I'm working for the Hamburg branch. We have about 7,500 members, and in Germany there are about 140,000 members. And we try to do cycling advocacy work to improve the situation for the cyclists.
Hamburg is a metropolitan, it has more than 1 million inhabitants, so it's also always difficult for a big city to offer good cycling infrastructure.
It's very car-oriented city. It was mostly rebuilt after the war because it was almost completely destroyed. So we have big roads leading to the city center, and for everybody it's normal to go into the city center by car. We have quite a high percentage of cyclists here. 12% of all the trips are made by a bike. The problem is now that the people want to cycle, but the city is too slow to do better.
They have the aim to have 25% in 2025. It's a long way to get there. The whole spatial planning, city planning has to focus on that aim, which doesn't mean not only to build bike lanes, but also do a lot of more things.
Cycling infrastructure is not the best in Hamburg, of course, but it's going to be improved and had been improving in the last years. The trend is pro-bike also everywhere in Germany and also in a big city where young people are living and universities are and so on.
Because of my family, I rode a cargo bike and I went to Copenhagen, and then we've bought 2 cargo bikes, and everybody was like, hey, what's that? That's new and that's cool, and how do you like that, and how much money does that cost and stuff like that. And that brought me to that idea to maybe open a cargo bike shop. And so right now we are also trying to support the cycling scene here somewhere out of this cargo bike perspective. The popularity of cargo bikes in Hamburg is growing. I would say that you have like, I don't know, 2,000 cargo bikes. So that means there's a lot of space, because Hamburg's also bigger than Copenhagen, for example.
Yeah, well, I think the interesting thing is, as you pointed in the beginning, that there are lots of cyclists and they're on the streets, and it's obvious that the space is not enough. We want to show that there are cyclists and that the politicians have to be aware of it, and that they should change the politics.
What's innovative here in Hamburg for cyclists is, for example, this Stadtrad system, that you can rent a bike on more than 100 stations. And the whole city is covered with those stations, and you can rent it for free for the first half an hour, which is pretty good. It makes people sometimes not use the car. Also, a lot of tourists use this, but it's better to make them, I don't know, go by taxi or stuff like that. And then we have a few bike lanes which works like in Copenhagen.
Landesbrücken is a point where many tourists are, and you have important cycle routes going along there. And you couldn't follow the cycle track because of all the tourists on the cycle track in front of the buses, the tourist buses. They removed the cycle traffic from the sidewalks onto the road lanes. Now it's very easy to go there along, and that is at the moment the future for Hamburg for cycling.
The city is working on, for example, this UPS thing, that they don't use any cars in the city center. They use cargo bikes.
We try to keep in contact with the politicians, with the members of the city administration, to work with them together to make improvements in the city planning. But on the other hand, we also do a lot of press work and publicity, like organizing events, public discussions about cycling.
It's getting better from year to year, because right now we have a new coalition between the SPD and the Greens, and they have a 20-point plan to make the infrastructure for cycling a bit better. That means new bike lanes, more bike crossings, more situations where the bikes are in advantage compared to the cars and stuff like that. And they also would like to support the cargo bike thing. That means that you use cargo bikes instead of cars, electric bikes and stuff like that. So we hope that it gets better in the next years.
Hamburg is, of course, a city for cyclists compared to many, many other cities. You can cycle here. It's easy and it's convenient to cycle here.